Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where after my battle yesterday with a puzzle by Mixo, which I started very late in the day, and then I didn't realise that yesterday's puzzle was going to be so difficult, and many of you have felt sorry for me, and we've had 3 recommendations for this old puzzle by GDC, and because we had so many recommendations, I loaded it up. And I can't believe we've not done this on the channel before. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a 6x6 puzzle, apparently 1 star out of 5 for difficulty. So if I'd known about this one yesterday, I could have done this at 6 o'clock yesterday evening without too much concern about whether I would have got the video live by 8:30. But I can't really believe we've never looked at this one. I've checked the... I've checked our catalogue because we've done so many thousands of puzzles now on the channel. There is a chance that at some point, we will overlook the fact we've solved a puzzle before. But I don't think we have done this. And I can't believe we haven't because it's so beautiful. This is this Clippy thing, isn't it? Or is it Mr. I want to say Mr. Clippy. That might be wrong. If I've got the name wrong, I'm sorry, but it is something like that. It was an old Microsoft thing that used to pop up and say, can it help you with things? But look at what GDC's done here. We've got You Good Mate. Was it an Australian? I don't know. But then the sort of X that you get in Windows boxes is represented in the top right-hand corner. I mean, it's just graphically so beautiful. And yeah, we're gonna have a go at it in today's video. Now, as I say, it's got 1 star out of 5 for difficulty and fog of war, so it should be approachable. Although I will say there's something weird going on because it's the digits 0 to 8, and obviously there are only 6 cells in any row or column, so there's something missing. But we'll read the rules properly in a moment or two's time and have a go at Zippy by GDC. Now, before we do that, I've got a couple of things to mention. I've got a couple of birthdays to do, but I'll also tell you that yesterday afternoon at 4 p.m, for our patrons over on Patreon, we released a brand new Sudoku hunt from the Paint by Numbers Institute. Where's my mama? And let's go and have a look. So I haven't refreshed this deliberately because I wanted to see how the solves were progressing. So you can see yesterday. So this would only have been a couple of hours after the competition went live, because this is when I loaded this page up yesterday. So we had 530. Let's reload. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So 75 people have done all the puzzles already. 600 people have done the first puzzle. The bonus puzzle has been done by nearly 900 people. I mean, that is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. It's such a case for how clever the people who support this channel are. That is it. In fact, it's click 4 p.m. I'm looking at my clock on my computer. It's 4 p.m. So that is 24 hours and 75 people have solved 11 puzzles. I mean, it's phenomenal. Very well done to all those of you who've managed to complete all the puzzles. Feedback so far, the feedback I've seen has been great, as you'd expect. I mean, these are very, very good setters who have done a fantastic job for us in creating this hunt. And you've got plenty of time. If you've not started yet, you've got until the 20th to enter the competition and be in with a chance of making a Sudoku video with me, which hopefully one day will appear on the channel. Well, hopefully soon would appear on the channel. So do have a go if you haven't had a go already. Now, a couple of birthdays to do as well. I'll start off with a late birthday. Trey, it was your birthday on the 21st of December. But I had no way of knowing this because I only had the email about it yesterday from your fiancée Natasha. So Trey, I'm sorry I missed your birthday, but I don't feel completely guilty for once. I know that the 2 of you are getting married in May. And so I think Natasha wrote in and said, how do I get a birthday announcement? And we replied to say, well, you just have to say when the birthday is. And, what the person's name is whose birthday you want to shout out, and anything interesting about them. And we got a sentence back saying, it was your birthday on the 21st of December, you're getting married in May, and you can exhale for 1 minute and 5 seconds. That was the whole sentence. It wasn't even a new sentence. It was just, apparently you've been training, Trey, and you can exhale for 1 minute, 5 seconds. So what, you take a massive breath and then exhale as slowly as possible. I mean, it's actually quite impressive to hold, because you're holding your breath as you exhale. You can't do both at the same time, can you? Oh, I don't think you can. So that's quite a long time to be able to just hold your breath, but very well done. And well, I hope you had a great birthday, and more importantly, in May, I hope that the two of you have a great wedding day. So that's the first birthday, sort of. And the next birthday is a birthday for today, and this is Pablo. Pablo over in Costa Rica, who has turned 22 and apologised in his email for his English, which is absolutely fantastic, let me tell you. And Pablo uses cracking the cryptic as somewhere where he can think and disconnect from adult life. I don't think you're alone in that. You've been watching for 5 years and you've also started to play the guitar. Well, that's great, Pablo. I hope you have a brilliant birthday today. I know chocolate cake is planned, and I hope it is extremely heavily iced. And that's all the news. Let's have a look at Zippy by GDC, and I will read you the rules of the puzzle, which begin bizarrely. They say, normal-ish Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 0 to 8 in every empty cell, so that there are no repeated digits in any row, column, or 3x3 box. Right. Okay, so each 3x3 box will contain one instance each of the digits 0 to 8, and then each row and column will have some subset of those digits, just so that they don't repeat. Every 3-cell sequence on a teal line, I think that's the colour teal, isn't it, contains one digit from 036, one from 147, and one from 258. So sometimes this is called a sort of modular set, isn't it? And why do I say it's to do with the modularity when numbers are divided by 3. So if you think about 0, 3 and 6, which form one of these sets, obviously they have a 0 remainder when divided by 3. 1, 4 and 7 have a 1 remainder, and 2, 5, 8 have a 2 remainder. So going round this line, we've got to make sure that each 3-cell sequence has one of each, which can lead to some interesting ideas. So we'll get to that when we do the solving. Digits an equal distance to the hat. I said cat. Digits an equal distance to the hat on a lavender line sum to the hatted digit. So whatever is in that cell is the sum of those two, because they are the same distance from the hat. With the sum of those two, sum of these two, etc., etc. So you just make sure whatever the orange ones add up to, you write in the hat cell. And that's how is it Mr. Zippy in this puzzle? I'm not sure. That's how Mr. Zippy works. Digits joined by eyes are in a 1 to 2 ratio. so those squares, one of those is double the other, is what that means. Digits joined by a white dot differ by... I can't see any white dots. Must be some white dots under the fog. Digits joined by a white dot differ by 1, and digits joined by an X sum to 10. So those two digits sum to 10. And obviously we've got fog as well. So I don't know if this is dynamic fog today, but normally the way fog works is if we deduced this digit, it would clear the fog from all of those cells. But sometimes in modern puzzles, if you got this digit, it might clear the fog from that cell. So we're going to have to see how that works out. But do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play Let's Get Cracking. And I presume, I mean, almost all of this box is on a zipper line. So I want this to be an 8, but it might not need to be. Well, yeah, okay, it is an 8. Okay, this is where we're going to start. Now, or sort of anyway. I'm actually going to look at the eyes, because we've got 3 cells there connected by 2 eyes. Now that means there's a doubling relationship, or a halving relationship. It's either going to go this digit gets doubled and that gets doubled again. That's one possibility. Or this digit gets doubled and gets doubled again. So if we think about the digits 0 through 8 and we ask ourselves what sort of sequences will work, well, we can't start a sequence with 0, because when we double 0 we get 0. We could start a sequence with 1, and that sequence will go 1, double it, 2, double it, 4. So 1, 2, 4 is a potential orientation. The other one is 2, 4, 8. That would work. 3 won't work. 3, 6, 12. 12 is not a digit in this puzzle. So if we put 3 here and went to 6, this would be unfillable. So we know this is either 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8. Well, it's not 2, 4, 8. And the reason it's not 2, 4, 8 is to do with the zipper. If it's 2, 4, 8, one of those is an 8. But remember, the way that zippers work is we're adding these digits to equal the top hat. So one of those digits, whichever one was 8, would be added to another digit to get to the top hat. But there are no digits higher than 8 in this puzzle. So there is simply no way that this sequence is 2, 4, 8. It must be 1, 2, 4. And that is our first digit, therefore. That is 2. And this is a 1, 4 pair. And now we're going to reverse that logic. And we're going to look at the whole box and say, where is the 8 in the box? I think that's a reasonable question, because we can't put 8 anywhere on the zipper line, because we're then going to add that digit to another digit on the zipper line to equal the top hat. I did have a couple of gin and tonics at lunchtime today. Bad, naughty Simon. So I think the only place 8 can go in this box now is there. So that is 8. This is lovely. Okay, and now this can't be 4. Because imagine this was 4. We know these 2 digits are going to sum up to 8. So if this is 4, this digit is also 4. That won't work. So that's got to be the 1. That's got to be 4. Whoops. That's got to be 7. Now this 4, if this puts a 4 inside the box, I've made a mistake. So let's actually map this out. Those 2 are the same. Well, not the same. Those 2 sum to 8. This one, no, that's fine. That's fine. We looked at that in the example. So that one, so this is 4, is what we've just learnt. This one, oh, actually, how does this work? This gets confusing. That's got about 6 different line segments in it, this cell here. Okay, right. This is a bit tricky actually. So this one, the next cell after this orange on the sort of left-hand portion of the paperclip is clearly this one, isn't it? And on this portion of the paperclip, it's this one. So those 2 have to sum up to 8. But then it gets a bit weird, because the paperclip, the right hand portion of the paperclip, then enters this cell again. So it has to join up with this cell. So this is also a sort of pair that adds up to 8. But the implication of that, if we know that those 2 add up to 8, and we know these 2 add up to 8, I think that means those 2 are the same digit. So I'm going to just notate that. I'll put A into those squares. And then these 2 are the same digit, or not the same digit again. They're the last cell on the zipper line. So they add up to 8. Okay, so how do we do this then? Right, we'll look at the greens actually. Oh, hang on, I haven't made any logical solipsisms by not thinking about 0, have I? 0 couldn't have gone on the eyes. No, I think we're okay. Sorry, I was just thinking, because obviously I've done so many puzzles involving 1 to 9 that when you involve 0, it it sometimes can throw you. Okay, but what we should do now, I think, is to ponder the greens, because 1 and 7 has been used up as a way of adding up to 8. 2 and 6 is simply not available because of this 2 here, so I can't put 2 and 6 into those squares, so I think they have to be 3 and 5, which means that these squares are 0 and 6, which is a slightly strange combination. And we know red, so this digit is 2 or it's 2 or 8, I think. This is very strange. 0 plus 8 would equal 8, or 6 plus 2 would equal 8. And that must be the same for... Oh, well, this is better. The blue digit is better, because the blue digit is also needs a 2 or an 8 to add up to 8, but there's a 2 in the column, so that digit is 8. And therefore that digit is 0, and we know, we got a clearance of fog. That digit was the same as this digit, isn't it? Now, is that going to clear fog? Yes. This digit is 6, that digit is 2. So we've got some sort of please, it looks like. That looks like PLZ to me. Rest, please. I'm not sure. Anyway, how do we resolve this 3-5 pair now? Oh, I tell you one thing we can do. I've got an X domino here that can't be 2-8 and can't be 3-7. Well, given we haven't got 9-1 available in this puzzle because 9 doesn't appear in the puzzle, this has got to be 4-6, I think. Maverick's just taken off from the local aerodrome and is about to buzz past the window. Ah, okay. I'm sorry, I'm jumping about here, but I'm noticing different things as we go through the puzzle. Now, this white dot's interesting. And this is something that we see all the time when we think about Kropki dots, so these white dots where the digits are consecutive. If you think about 2 consecutive numbers, I'm about to say something totally fatuous, but it does help. A consecutive pair of numbers will always include an odd number and an even number. Well, what's the even number that's going on that Kropki dot? It's not 0, 2, 4 or 8, so the only option is 6, and we can actually write it in. That's 6. So this is 5, because 7 has appeared in the column already. And these squares are 1, 3 and 7 by Sudoku. I mean, GDC, what are you doing making me do Sudoku in your Sudoku puzzle? Outrageous. This is a bit it's a bit strange, actually. I mean, obviously there are so many digits missing from the rows and the columns. Right, we're probably going to have to think about the teal line, aren't we? Right, in fact, yeah, I could have done this in the introduction, but let's think about this segment here. We know that within every 3-cell segment on the teal line, we have to have one of the digits 036, one of the digits 147, one of the digits 258. So you can sort of, actually let's just get rid of the colouring over here. One thing you can do therefore is to sort of shade it. Let's have a colour. So this is going to be the 036 modularity. Now think about, we know there's one of each in this 3-cell segment, and there's one of each in that 3-cell segment. But these 2 cells are common, aren't they, to that segment and that segment. So what we must have is this being purple. It must repeat the polarity or the modularity of this digit, and then we go round 3 again. Yeah, this is going to do it, you see. This digit has to be of that modularity, and then it goes back to the beginning, so it's lovely. And 4 or 6, to be in the same modular group as 0, that's going to have to be 6, that's going to have to be 4. And this digit now sees 0 and 6, so its only option is 3. Oh, restart. Restart me? Restart me, please? Oh, hang on. What's that X? This is a very generous setting. Oh, I see. It's because it's another message. It's another message which you can click on. Well, we can't click on it in this, but you could click on it if it was a normal window. But I think that has to be 3.7, doesn't it? It can't be 4.6. It can't be 2.8. And if it's 3.7, that's 3. And that's 7. Restart me, please. And then white dots. Okay, well, let's try and work out now. This is from the modular 147 set. So this, yeah, so they always precede the 0. So those 3 digits there are all of the same modularity. So these must be a 1-7 pair, and we know the order. It's a very gentle puzzle, but it's very, very cute as well. So the remaining digits here have got to be from the 258 modular set. And that means 0 goes in the middle of the box. And that's not 8. And that's not 2. Hang on. So what have I done wrong here? Because this isn't actually finishing the puzzle. I'm probably not doing Sudoku. Yes, I'm not doing Sudoku. So that's 3, sorry, that's 5. This isn't 5. Chocolate teapot triple in box 2 left over. That 3 means this is a 3 though. So these are a 1-7 pair. Oh no, okay, this is still not quite resolved, I don't think. So it must be these white dots, presumably. Yeah, okay. So we're going to use the trick we used here on this white dot pair. But we're not going to say even digits this time. We're going to say there must be an odd digit on this pair. What's the odd digit? Well, the odd digits in this puzzle are 1, 3, 5 and 7. But this sees 1, it sees 3 and it sees 7. So there must be a 5 on here. And we know exactly where it goes. Restart me please. More. Are they eyes again, are they? Hang on, I'm not quite seeing the picture. Is this real? Is this what this Mr. Clippy thing used to do? You good mate. And then restart me, please. I don't know. Some of you who are more au fait with Microsoft messages will know. Well, that's a 4 because it can't be a 6 and it has to be consecutive with 5. This is a black dot sequence that has 4 in the middle, so it must be 2, 4, 8. Which well, it means those are a 2-8 pair. I'm not actually seeing how to resolve that straight away. But this 2-8 pair here puts 5 in the top corner. So the chocolate teapot in box 2 gets resolved. That does the 2 and the 8, which is rather cute. And we've got 1, 6 and 0 to place. So 0 has to go here. Oh no. Oh, I see. I was thinking 1 and 6 are unresolved, but they are resolved because one of them has to be consecutive with 2. So the 1 goes there, the 1 goes there, the 7 goes there, the 6 goes there. Very, very nice puzzle. And not difficult, but just lovely. Just lovely. It must be. Yeah, it's correct. So it's a very old puzzle. Over a year old. Had 1,000 solves nearly. Hopefully it will get many more now. It's just lovely. I mean, what more can you say? It's a puzzle that I wouldn't describe it as difficult at all. If you're, if you've been doing these puzzles for a long time, there was nothing there that really will hold you up. But what we can all do, I think, is just admire the wit that has gone into the presentation of that. To actually draw, Mr. Clippy's head and put the messages in such a beautiful way is just stunning. It's stunning, GDC, again. And I loved it. And let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.